70-member squad from Australian delegation headed by Martin Hamilton Smith, Minister for Investment and Trade at the South Australian government, will meet with India's state governments in India, negotiating and proposing tie-ups in the water conservation, defense, technology in healthcare, premium wine and food, as well as art. The first of such initiative is likely to be a proposal for a center of research on the water conservation in Maharashtra, said Smith. A delegation will also visit Rajasthan, Delhi and Bangalore. The team includes representatives from the companies such as Add-Life Techonlogies, which provides a virtual reality platform for the medical solutions at home, while the producers 1847 Wines Chateau Yaldara, Flight Training Adelaide and Hydro-dis, which makes water disinfection technologies or techniques, among the other companies. Hamilton said that India and Australia do 21 billion Australian dollars worth of trade every year. But he also said there are still a lot of trade barriers in terms of taxes, charges and duties. He added the two countries have been negotiating free trade agreement for some time, but the talks have plateaued, which was so bad and sad for business on both sides because of the useless GSTs and the demonetization of the Indian Prime Minister Modi, which devastated Indian economy to a great down. But India's import from China has surged 39%. India and China may have been engaged in a verbal deal over the border disputes for the past few months, but the country's export to the neighboring nations have surged 39% during the first half of the current fiscal year, amid indications that Beijing is more accommodating and addressing New Delhi's long-pending trade concerns. Latest data available with the Commerce Department show that the exports have grown faster than the pace of import expansion with India's largest trading partner, although the trade deficit has widened given the massive shipments of electronic and paramedicals from across the border. A large part of export jump was driven by three sectors: iron ore, cotton yarn and ferro alloys, all other materials or all raw materials and the inputs that feed into China's manufacturing chain. But the government is looking to ensure that the best quality iron ore does not flow out of the country and only those with the lower ferrous content gets loaded for the ships that sail to Chinese ports, said resource. The sources also said Commerce and the Industry Minister Suresh Prabhu has also flagged the several issues with the Chinese authorities to push exports to Indian goods, many of which face restrictions. The government is also looking at easier rules for export of agriculture products, including non-basmati rice, identified as an item of significant potential, and the issue is being flagged. Now the government is planning to bridge the trade gap by checking points or imports. Prabhu is looking to get or set up a task force under the Commerce Secretary Rita Tuatia to rationalize the trade deficit with a sector-specific strategy, said a source. While the government realizes that it may not be possible to completely choke the flow of smartphones and other electronic items from China, it wants to put in place standards for a host of other products to ensure that the near unabated flow is stemmed. Given the high dependence of Indian paramedical companies on raw materials from China, the government is keen to initiate steps to get domestic players to claw back into the space. While this has been discussed for years, there has hardly been any movement in this front. So what do you think of India's U-turn against China's import, which is not banning except the paramedicals? And also India's new relationship with Australia and also lacking to do business in India, which India stands 150th place in world of doing or starting business in India, but overall India jumped 30 place from doing ease of business, but still India is in 150th place in doing or starting business in India.
Between 2009 and 2012, the flow of direct investment into Mongolia jumped sharply. Inflation topped 10%, yet other economic indicators remained sluggish. More than ever, companies required reliable statistics to support their decision-making. Although the businesses were not affected much in 2012, they were facing some challenges. People began to realize that they needed a reliable prognosis and assessment in order to guarantee a sustainable development. The ability to utilize statistics will benefit smaller companies in their future expansion.
Every single form typed in by two different people and compare it. This was my own survey, and I had a computer program compare them, and always found mistakes.
At that time, the need for urgency led to a higher chance of mistakes appearing in statistical data. The National Statistical Office decided a new way to produce accurate data was needed. The solution was Project Mondstadt.
So what Mondstadt did is take advantage of some modern technology to improve the process of doing this in a way that is not only faster, but also less subject to error.
Upgrading the data gathering operation was one of the project's 4 key goals. At that time, the tally clerks used to count every head of livestock in a household, record the numbers by hand, process and organize the number, and then type it all into a computer. Now, they use tablets to directly input the data into the fully integrated system.
In order to get a loan, we had to get a reference from government official in charge of our area. Challenges like this used to take much time, but now it's different. All we have to do is to approach banks directly and show our passport. All information about our livestock are registered there. This is such a time-saving, consumer-friendly approach for herders like me. I'm very grateful.
This change was central to the accuracy of the 2010 population and household census. Based on this world-class census, Mongolia was able to estimate the arrival of its 3 millionth citizen. But how is the processed data delivered to users? 90 years worth of data from 21 IMAGs, 330 Zooms, and 9 districts of the capital have been categorized and placed in special databases.
Processing time and the workload have been reduced, as well as monitoring system is operational on every level. These achievements have been reached by virtue of a software improvement made by Project Mondstadt.
The Mondstadt project tackled the enormous task of reforming the system of national accounts. Census criteria was categorized according to gender. To calculate GDP, 21 different sectors are assessed every quarter. These are just a few examples of the reform's successful outcome. In 2014, some people were saying that we've been very courageous and ambitious to start reforming the system of national accounts. But at the same time, they were mocking us for dreaming so big. Today, I'm very pleased to say that we've achieved even more than we initially planned. The reform wasn't only about broadening the range of available statistics, it was also about reaching an international standard. Until 2012, Mongolia's method to calculate poverty had always differed from that of the World Bank.
Whose numbers do we trust? Would you rely on the National Statistical Office's numbers, gathered under Mongolian government's decree? Or would you have a confidence in World Bank's numbers, that were gathered according to international standards? After joining working groups, 2-month-long collaboration, a new methodology that makes the poverty line comparable to previous numbers was put in force. That has been a very productive mutual cooperation.
The era of sending official letters to use statistics is gone. When the Mondstadt project was implemented, all the data was made available to the public via websites, smartphones, and tablets. We partnered with our South Korean counterparts. Their statistical office utilizes their website to deliver data to its citizens. After studying their system, we localized it in Mongolia and created the website named 1212.mn. After 5 years and a $3.8 million investment, the benefits of Project Mondstadt can be seen across the board, such as the improvement in officers' vocation and methodology skills. This has enabled Mongolia to become one of 24 members of the United Nations Statistical Commission. To mention just one recent example of our achievements, a big delegation from the Statistical Office of Kazakhstan came to Mongolia in the last quarter of 2014 to learn practices in agriculture and livestock census. By 2014, Mongolian statistical capacity was ranked 15 points higher than the global average. Its activities were rated stable by a comprehensive international assessment. Statistics to truly become a leading force for Mongolia's development.
Post your comments below. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and follow us on social networks, and subscribe to our channel. And thanks for watching. This is WC Daily. Think big, think different. Bye.